again. And we'll skip communications till Colin gets here. Chairperson, working on a bunch of different ideas. Ty got an email today back about dates for Nordecke Cup. He has one that they're finalizing. There was another one where there was a possible conflict with, but wasn't sure. He's supposed to send me that email once he finds it today, but he did hear back from them. So once I know that date and we still have time to work it, we will start getting on the works on that and let that be known so that we know to start planning for that. But the dates we did do were in August, September, and I think we did one the very beginning of October. But we picked a couple different dates. I sent all those to them, so they're finalizing getting that. That is the only update, at least as far as me going right now. Community, we'll jump to, and I have Emily's updates because she is online. Hello, Emily. She is actually not here because she is going to be at a Zoom meeting in a little bit for Pride. Pride Raiser is going through Jake, so if you haven't decided to sign up for that pledge, you do have through the end of the month. The Pride Raiser is you pick an amount in every goal that Columbus scores in the month of June, which we know is so many right now. We donate that many, so if you pledge $5 and we score 5 goals, you pledge $25 whole dollars. And so on and so forth. So if you're feeling like that,
do you promise Courtney's going to score 5 goals this month?
No. I cannot. That is not my place to speak. But I can cheer for us to score 5 goals at least. So that I can do. Volunteer spaces are still available through all the volunteers opportunities that we have. We are at 49 spots for the parade, so we have one spot.
Full.
We're full now?
Yeah, she just messaged.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. We're full for Pride. So we've got 50 people walking for Pride, which is next Saturday, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be a very long day for us that are walking in the parade, and then hopefully celebrate and then go to the game, but we can do it. As Bob Builder says, can we build it? Yes, we can. So that's amazing. She's going to have those details that we sent out as soon as they're available after the meeting tonight. She is working to do a Pride t-shirt tie-dye party. That's set for Tuesday, so everyone that's walking in the parade. Or if you want to make your own shirt and bring it, I guess we could do that too, unless Emily's going to murder me for offering that. But we're going to tie-dye all the Nordecke shirts that we have for all the volunteers that are walking in that. And like I said, if you want to bring your own and do your own Pride tie-dye, I'm going to offer that-ish. But yeah, that's all I got for community. If you do want to take a look at some of the upcoming events, I know we have another day where we're going to Mid-Ohio Food Bank. I know we're volunteering for Dash for Donation, which is in July. I know I'm getting ready to put a team together, so if you'd rather not volunteer, but if you want to walk a 5K or run a 5K, we're going to put a team together for that like we did last year. That does benefit Donate Life Central Ohio, which has helped a lot of people within our community, which is a great organization. And I know they're doing, coming up, I think it's September, is when we're going to go and make dinner for Ronald McDonald House. I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong on that date, but lots of good volunteer opportunities coming up. So definitely check it out on the website, sign up. We have a lot of fun. We just had a bunch of us do the 10K on Sunday, and we had a blast. And that's all for community. Now to creative. Welcome back.
Thank you. How was your trip? It was still there. No, it was really good. It was a lot of fun. Work experience was good. So, creative updates. We are underway on the Pride TIFO right now. Thank you to some new volunteers who showed up last night for the first time. We were able to get the sewing knocked out. I actually just texted me and said it looks like he's still waiting on a final confirmation, but it looks like we will be able to use the ramps to trace in his store next week. So we can get the tracing knocked out in one night, maybe 2, but really speeding that process up from the last one. Don't have also helps. But yeah, that one's underway. Just for clarity's sake, I don't know if this has really been pushed. It wasn't like hidden, but I don't know if we came out right out and said it. We are going to do the Pride TIFO on the 29th in conjunction with Soccer for All Night instead of the 14th. Just simply for the timeline, so that we're not trying to rush through and finalize a TIFO, like staying there till 2 a.m. every night. Some people.
We only did that one time.
We're mentioning that's a national televised game too, right? Isn't that a Sunday night?
Yes, it is.
Sunday, yep.
Yeah, so that'll be national televised.
Okay, that'd be cool. Show it. Anyway, yeah, so Pride TIFO underway, going well. Already have some rough sketches coming back for the 30th anniversary game. That I'm then going to kick to some of our more designy people and ask for suggestions on improvement. Look back to the artist, but that one is being worked on, so that we are ahead of the game whenever it comes time for that. So, that's now. Depot spaces. We are working with a realtor now, rather than me continuing to pester the front office to ask for information that they either don't have or don't give. We just flipped everything to a realtor and said, hey, can you find us some spaces? So excited to see what he's going to be able to find and bring back. I guess he had a good conversation with somebody in the office and was able to get more information than they were willing to give us the last 4 months. So,
Plus.
yeah, we'll see what that brings, but yeah, sure there's a good stuff.
And can I ask if the use is it people?
I mean, we can.
Are we
ask-
just
Put it in there. Ask.
Yes, we can always ask. I have heard the story now, so fun stuff. Yeah.
We can ask her to come with us. I think they're in a unit box. Bring her with us. There really is. I think it was Emily and was it you that heard the baby cry at like late at night?
Yeah, it was like midnight and we ran afterwards. Like I rolled that TIFO up so quickly and we were just gone.
That poor baby is in there, buffalo.
They're a child.
All right, good stuff. Game day. There's 2 of you here, so I'm trying if you have anything online, holler, Paco, talk to you in the meantime.
Yeah. And I won't step over anything you have to say, but we got a big month for us coming up. We have 3 big games coming up for us, with Vancouver and Philly. So, Pride, that game on the 14th is going to be a big game for us. We have a lot of people, 700,000 people in the city. Hopefully a lot of people come to night with us that night too. I'd love to be able to get the LBC as bannered out as we can, get all of our pride banners, all of our support panels that have some form of pride on there. I know folks will be spending a lot of time at the parade that day, including the festival happening afterwards. So, definitely love to see those pride kits, love to see all of those tie-dye shirts, everything else that we get out there and get those stands really as fast as we can get them. So with everything kind of going on, I'd love to be able to have some communication, especially with assistants. I know there's a lot of stuff going on that morning, so I'd love to be able to get a nice little shout out to get some volunteers coming out to help with the banners, especially midday. Again, everybody's absolutely welcome to be able to kind of help doing that, and you don't need somebody in experience to do it. We're going to tell you how to get that done. We meet at the Cover My Meds at noon on Saturday right before the tailgate. I'd love to put this question out to anybody who can answer it. We used to have a no hate banner that has not been out for the season. Does anybody?
Is it out in the closet?
Just asking if anybody knows where it would be, or
At the bottom of the bin, it's a giant burlap sack. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
It'll be very heavy.
so
It'll be heavier than all the other
yeah,
ones.
it's still in the closet somewhere.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah, because I'd love to. My follow-up question to that was like,
I will follow up to your follow up. We also used to have I I also haven't gone digging for it, so maybe it's there. I don't know, but somebody else may know. The giant probably one we used to put up at the old stadium that has the circle logo.
The one that we were told wasn't allowed to go inside because it had the circle logo and.
Oh. Oh. Okay. I just thought,
No, because remember we tried about.
no, I don't remember.
I'm sorry. Well, because we tried to put it up and they said we weren't allowed to put it up because it had the logo. And they didn't want anything with the circle logo on. They placed on your show.
The 30th year of that.
You would think that that would still be embraced, but that.
They've been posting the circle logo.
Oh, yeah, aren't you literally doing what you said Thursday with the hard hats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they like the hard hats, they don't like the circle.
Well, maybe you make the same thing, but put the hard hat for the O or something.
They don't like circles. They like triangles better. That is why.
So it's got,
Yes, maybe we do reach out to Ty, see if there's a day before next Saturday, what we get some people confident kind of go through, maybe we follow it, see what Fridays and stuff we have, and so there's like, you want any volunteers if you want to? Yeah. Like, not working on that, okay.
so Scott, I'm glad you're here. Norm and I had a call with Ty, and the group that handles the scoreboard graphics. Something that's kind of come up this season that we kind of talked about a little bit, but didn't go formally yesterday, was trying to do a better job of getting the rest of the state involved in the chance and how we can kind of do that with some of the teams. The logistics that kind of come along with that and how we can better support those kinds of activities. So I'm all for enhancing the experience for everybody, including all those folks sitting in those soon to be $12,000 seats. But
Yeah.
but it comes with some logistical issues and how we're going to do that. So one thing we did kind of speak about a little bit was there is a push now by the group to have I guess their game experience folks like Montana, what the other units, to kind of hype up the crowd and stuff like that. So what we would like to kind of see happen is have an identified chance that we would highlight that day. So for example, the massive chant. Sure. The massive chant. That day we're going to do the massive chant, right? There is no time frame that we are tied to. There's no game flow or anything like that we're tied to. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But if we have identified the massive chant, Cameron Montana, whoever would come up to the center count those stand. Either first half or second half. At that point, it would be our responsibility to teach the chant to the rest of the students. So, hey, my name is Scott. I'm going to be your lead capital for tonight. We're going to practice. We are massive. The idea then is that the Nordecke would start we are, and the crowd would say massive. And we would do our responsibility is to do the crew, how they would support us then is during the games when we were starting massive chant. They would highlight Nordecke on we are, lights would go off, they highlight the crowd for massive. Highlight Nordecke for we are, highlight the crowd for massive. And we would run that however many times we would know. This, and we've been assured this in no way is to take over anything that we do. This is only to highlight and enhance what we do. The crowd already kind of gets into perform this clap by clap. We thought maybe massive would be a good test run because it's full response and kind of get everybody kind of going. We have three games back to back that we practice this down and see how it's working out, and then we can kind of come back, see if it's worked or not, or if there's something we can complete. We'll obviously continue to get scoreboard support, you know, with massive fan starts, going on. And, you know, hopefully we can get something going. The whole idea is, like I said, is to enhance what we're doing in the section and spread it out to the rest of the. So.
Do that kind of suggest this happens pre-game.
So, yeah, we were trying to do it pre-game. We were trying to do it pre-game, either, they try to fit us in the first half. Or try to fit us in, right before second half starts.
Because my only concern, I can see happening, which
Giants-
You know what I'm
It's all
saying?
game.
Well, even that, just like, even if we start it, you have them. All right, all you crew fans, it's time. Get on up. We are, and then like that, and then it just like pulls it like cheese factor. I love cheese, but that kind of, you know what I mean? Like that's
Oh,
my
it's
fear
very-
that it's gonna be like, and it's
It'll
not
start
that
cheesy.
that's there, but that's what
It'll start cheesy, but it's-
that's what I fear is gonna exactly happen if it's like. Time, you know what I mean? Like it can happen as long as it's happening. I mean, I know they can't have their voices during the game and stuff, so that's like a good thing at least. But like,
I think I see what he's
I
going
see
for,
what
wanting to do,
but
because
they're
there's,
doing that too, and I'm like,
there's a lot of like other teams that do have a supporter section call out, rest of the stadium respond. Atlanta has it, you know, God love the other like 300 people that show up at DCFC does it. So I mean, like Portland Timbers do it.
Right.
So like I know whose idea this is, and I know what he's seeing.
Yeah.
I know what he's wanting to do. So I mean, like it's a fantastic. I mean, I think that would work. I think did Cameron already kind of hop up on the stand with you one time this year and kind of
Yeah, you
do like a soft launch on this idea.
yeah, he led the woes.
Yeah,
Started off the second half with
It's-
some woes and stuff, so.
I knew I would see him up there once.
That guy's ability to be at like 99% humidity for so long, he's impressive.
That's why they made him. But yeah, no, I think, like I said, I think it's a cool idea, you know, like Scott was saying, other clubs do it. And, you know, like I said, anything to kind of enhance the experience, not just from
yeah.
the section, but the whole scene.
Is there a way that we can incorporate the history of the channel, like maybe do it in one of the like pre-game trivia questions or something?
That'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got plenty of feedback, it's great.
You might be able to help with the awkward silence if it's confirmed more than 5 minutes before they're doing it, of having communication send out like, hey, this is gonna happen for the people that don't sit in the Nordecke, I hear the big tips. So that they kind of are including all what's happening, and you can kind of help their section.
That this is gonna happen.
Yeah, some kind of pre-day of messaging is what you're saying.
Even if it's just the morning of people that might be on Twitter or something that morning, you can sit in section 120, it's like, oh yeah, that's happening, so I'll make sure that I kind of participate.
As a group, we'd like to identify that whatever chant we're gonna do, you know, before. So we
Yeah.
can start kind of with that. In regard to that, so Ty did ask us to see if we can get something scheduled by next Wednesday. Or Saturday's game. So. But yeah, no, I just think it's cool. So we can kind of talk about that further. Any input from anybody is great. You know, love to see this. Love to see this. My last thing is just love to be able to get some more feedback too from our OUI members about the Pride match, how we can better serve the community, how we can better serve our supporters. You know, I don't want the match day to come off inherit and disingenuine and that's something more feedback that we can get from the folks to make that day enhance it. You know, it's gonna be a great day for the city and for the community. So I want to make sure that we have fun with all things we do. So
Did you see that on that the shepherd said about getting some more of the members up with the apples for those students?
For the 14th.
He doesn't have Facebook, he doesn't know.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna no, I gave that up long ago.
Well, you're a wiser man than me.
Yeah,
But,
Facebook.
yeah, he did suggest, so, like I said, we've always done it anyway, when people come up and just wanna do it, we get them, so especially those two matches, the 14th and the 29th.
Would love that. Are we doing two separate things?
So the 14th is Pride
Right.
Parade and everything
Yeah,
like that, so kind of carry over from that, but the Sunday is technically soccer for all. Tifo's going, so that's the Tifo day, so, I mean,
No, I'm not complaining, I'm just asking.
we like to celebrate,
Okay.
as a line from certain people, we like to celebrate soccer for all year round. But especially during the month of June, so we live those values, and
Which is the reason every team in the league, it seems like, made a pride post except for the food.
yes.
Yeah.
There's still hope.
It's their others.
They had 3 weeks.
Chris has insisted that we should give them grace in the next 25 days.
Yeah, so I'm all ears. You guys, anybody wants to get up there?
I think it would be good to on the 25th, the Wednesday game, it's also in June, by the time we at least get the pride banners up, even if it's. There's fewer banners, they're still doing something that. When Wednesdays are hard.
When these are hard just for people getting to get out there. You know, it's just been, historically just difficult to get folks to. You know, we'll communicate it out, see if you can show up and what.
Even kind of like saying, maybe. 48 times for about 5 o'clock and stuff like that area. So that does take time to put those in wait on.
For that representation.
I don't know,
You said it earlier.
I don't know if you interact with Ty on the request for the same international anthem, but there's kind of almost has like the gay
That's
response, so.
They've done games before.
They have, I just wasn't sure if that's something that they have. Concerning those.
We're just gonna ask which flags.
We used to have a bunch of pride ones, but again, it's,
I see plenty of them every match.
Yeah, there's plenty.
I just don't know what the condition is of those, but that might be something that we're going this next week or over the weekend, so we can do a thing, make sure there's a decent amount of those spread out socially. And if we need to make more or figure out more,
Yep, that was in conjunction with the TiVo, kind of picturing either flags or 2 sticks of the various designs. Kind of scattered throughout this activity. And I think that's something that we could actually do before the 14th, so that we can vote the 14th as well as the day we do vote. So
You've also had this for the mark for the folks from Thursdays in the grade. So I mean, the Nordecke folks.
I think we do.
Yeah,
We could have them done before.
I had just a couple things to add to match day. If
Hold on
it's
one second, let me turn the volume up. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, just a couple things to add to match day. Couple things we're going to try to incorporate along with the chants. We want to start doing a Frankie Hayek chant pre-match because they're hiding him away in Huntington Club, and we don't like that. We want him to come hang out with us. So try for a Frankie Hayek chant pre-match. Also, we're going to try to start creating like a very short chant each match that targets our opponent. Something very simple, something with just a few words, that just something simple enough to get under our opponent's skin. That's something that we're going to start doing at the tailgate. So you'll see us start to drop those at the tailgate. That way people can get to know those ahead of time. And then just speaking of tailgates, 14th is going to be marker party. You'll be seeing a lot more about that here in the next couple days. And the 29th is our Pride tailgate.
Marker party sounds a lot more fun than just that title, but. And no, Papa, we're not just smelling markers.
It's not Mark, no.
Whoopsies.
I did see Brandy at the last game and I did, to the center stand. Of matches to coincide with that, Brandy.
Maybe we'll make sticks too. But you hold up for that one. Frankie. Hate it. Hate it. That could be a featured chant that we tell the FO to do and tell the whole stadium to do.
The former player that stole the building.
The players stole the building. How could they argue that? Okay. Merchandise, I did not get.
Well, Brad sent me stuff.
You have it? Okay, good.
I
I was gonna say, I know he sent it to someone.
I don't necessarily know what 100% of this pertains to, but he has an update.
What looks like the kids club. Specifically to Robbie and Melanie, to see if you guys could work with like a trampoline park, or it seems like there might be a nerdball place near Bud's work to provide a discount for the kids club. And then he has here passport, which I believe is to be like a kids club passport, where they can go around the tailgate or the matches and get stickers or something to collect from each of the supporters groups, mostly to just like engage with more of the fan base, more of the collective as a whole. Prize and reward filling under both, probably very similar to Bingo last year, is kind of the vibe I'm getting from the passport idea. And then a separate monthly newsletter, separate from our own weekly newsletter, directed just towards the kids club members and or their associated guardian. This is an ask, he says, of Renee, who is a part of the comms team, and potentially Bethany, if you have the capacity. This would be along the lines of just providing information to the kids, it looks like. And then responsibility of the comms team would be to do social campaigns, assist with the newsletter, and create some graphics. But I don't think there's anything else from merch other than doesn't have listed, but I know we dropped that SPF sunscreen merch recently. Gold long sleeves. It has the Columbus.
It's like the map
Street
is
level?
similar.
Yeah,
It's the street
map
level map
on
is
the-
similar to the All-Star Kids last year
Yeah.
that they had done, and then has the Nordecke on the front.
Yes, that's available. And then there is also Pride merch available on our website, and then Subco has an entire line of Pride merch that they have as well. That we are happy to endorse as well. So I think that's everything for merch. I don't see anything else that you asked me specifically to mention. Okay, and then I can do comms if.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
No, I took over it. It was very interesting.
We've run the post-match survey. It looks like as of right now, what I can see, is we have 609 responses. I don't have any like graphical data on this. This is just like a bulk number of responses. I don't know when we will start the collection of this. The survey is supposed to close on the 14th. It would be pertinent that we take from 14th to our meeting with the front office to have that information compiled. I think visuals are something that I can work on, and might tag our newest NBA Robbie to come up with some kind of like statistical analysis of like what we can improve, like what the aggregate is and like what needs improved on and stuff like that.
I would just compare just because we did make the fan council a partner in that to like film and whatever.
For sure, yeah, we can definitely do that. And then remind me, their meeting happens a week after.
It's
ours?
tonight.
They're actually meeting tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. So they meet, it's like a 2-week staggered. So
Okay.
they will not be, we will have the next front office meeting after that closes. So
Okay.
they will not.
Okay, great. So
we will be the ones to bring that up, but we will absolutely include them in the narrative. So that's mostly where we are with Cleveland. We pushed it a few times. It was in this weekly email. We got a huge initial response, and we've kind of been getting staggered responses throughout. We've also been getting messages on social media. Just I don't know, people don't want to fill out the survey, but they like reply to our stories and they're like, "It's been terrible" and stuff like that. So I haven't been keeping a log of those, but anytime anyone's replied to our posts, it's mostly been like, "This shit was awful. I already drive 2 hours from Southern Ohio. Now I had to drive 4 hours to this game. I skipped it." So there pretty much no positive feedback when it's not been through the survey. Surprising.
The crowd control in the first one, so that's the success. I think.
Yeah.
It took me longer to get out of there. I think I spent watching the game. Nordecke goes green proposal. I mentioned this a little bit at the last board meeting, I believe. So I had a meeting with Ty in the front office, Chet, who is a Nordecke member and also a board member for Gay Bikes, local bike nonprofit and advocacy group, and also a member of the community marketing team from CODA. And we wrapped up July 25th, which is, I believe, a Friday match, to be the date for Nordecke Goes Green. And just a quick reminder for those who might not be aware, might not have heard, this is something that I have taken on. It is a proposal to encourage people to walk or bike or bus or take just alternate transportation to the pregame. The goal is to have Ty in the front office provide CODA, Gay Bikes, Franklin Cycle Works, Nordecke. I haven't spoken to anyone at Upper 90 Club yet for their run club, but to provide space on the red brick like patio out by where bag check is on the south side of the stadium to promote their alternative means to access for games. CODA has a route that drops off on the corner at Nationwide and Neil. Franklin Cycle Works has the bike valet up for every match. And there are protected and dedicated walk bike paths to and from the stadium to various parts of town. And so this match, being that it's a Friday and in the summer, hopefully with decent enough weather, will just kind of act as a way to provide our fans and members with engagement towards alternative transportation and to put the associated nonprofits and organizations in front of crew fans as a whole to be able to be more aware of those options for the future. And what this means for Nordecke as a part of the like the parent organization running this is there will eventually come from me and ask for a donation / a contribution where our members who would like are able to purchase at cost some kind of mobility inspired gear. We haven't nailed that down yet, but some initial ideas are like a reflective vest for walking and biking, branded bike lights for our people who would like to ride bikes, or just some form of branded merch that is tailored to non-vehicular transport to the game. And additionally, we'll have some kind of ingress or egress giveaway for each of the partners. We're not sure what that looks like yet. We have a lot to do because if it's ingress, it like can't be a water bottle per se because they'll absolutely apprehend you and put you in jail for that. So we're still trying to work with time like what an ingress or egress situation looks like. I think we get a lot lower engagement if we didn't egress. So we're still trying to like work on what that looks like. I don't have a monetary ask right now. Still just in the preliminary phases of what that at cost merchandise looks like for members and then what that giveaway looks like. But for now, we do know July 25th is our targeted goal for Nordecke Goes Green, which is unfortunately the mention of green, but it is the working name of the theme right now. So that's what I've got for comments.
You mentioned a lot of groups might have missed it. Did you connect with the new scooter company?
I sent probably 8 emails.
Okay.
And they are still in the email thread because if one day they wake up and they're like, yeah, we'd love to do this, then they can be included. I did get a response that they are not going to give out free memberships like they did with Kogo. Chet was actually the person who Robbie worked with to get those Kogo memberships. That was the only response I got, was that they're not willing to do annual memberships, so. I don't know if they want to be involved, we give them the opportunity, but I feel that they're like not as good of a like community partner as Kogo was, but if the table, there's a seat at the table if they like to talk, so. That's all I've got. Any other questions? That's my like speaking. Probably looks like wants everything.
You
I'll
want
do
a
it.
tangent, but
I'll do it.
two-person like.
10 would be
It
great.
would be a sidecar.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Sit there.
I'll sit there. All right, Robbie.
All right. So I'm gonna start off with the easy stuff first. So we have 3 home games this month. I'm happy to say that so question will be at the game on the 14th. I'll be providing beer for that game. On the 25th, which is Wednesday, against Atlanta, we'll have our new partner. It's not a beer partner, but it's a spirits partner, Brown Foreman. I just had a conversation with them yesterday to solidify things for them, and they're very excited to participate. And in fact, one of them will be their first game, first big game at the stadium, so it should be really fun. And then Land Grant will be providing beer on the May 9th soccer brawl. The other aspect, the other two for partnership perspective is we do have a potential new partner. Weed Maps. For those that don't know Weed Maps, I didn't know about them, but they're a publicly traded tech company that helps people find licensed dispensaries in the area that they're in. They're trying to partner with Nordecke to just kind of make folks aware about dispensaries that are around the area.
Make sure our members know.
Yeah. I think this is another way for them to kind of build greater relationships with people, with other organizations. And the guy who reached out to me is I think he's a season ticket member. And he would like to have a tent set up at a tailgate. And also he has about some spending money, so he's happy to work with us on trying to get something there.
Are they not giving out?
No.
So they're not going to be able to give out. I told them that we cannot. Unfortunately, we can't have them give out, but they can give out like. We can maybe we can eventually like lead up to it. Maybe see. I'll leave that to you. Yeah.
So can they give out gas cards so I drive to Michigan? Too hot.
But also just think if you're like going on a Nora tour and you were in another
Not
city,
Toronto.
not
doing that again.
Don't take it.
Yes.
You wait till you get
But if you were in another city and that is how, you like to dabble with the devil's lettuce, and as my grandmother would tell me, and you want to find something within the stadium or where you're staying, that could be potentially a good thing to have instead of just wandering. I mean, I know there's Google, but
So they would love to partner with us and have a tent set up at one of our tailgates. And as I mentioned about that's somebody that they can spend on outside of just promotions, like be able to spend for it. So I suggested to Courtney that it would be great for them. They can provide food. I know usually past they can have pizza at tailgates.
Like bodies?
That would be great. That would be great. That would be awesome. So yeah, I think my only request from the board would be if we could allocate a parking pass, and I think I'll check the guy who over at Mount to see like if they do need tickets, we can give them like maybe one ticket or so. But yeah, definitely parking pass. Yeah.
Is this like a one game situation or like a repetitive? Because it doesn't really conflict with your partner, so I'm just curious.
No, it could be repetitive. So they would like for it to be repetitive. I think for the first one they want to start off small with like their advertising, then later on they'll probably scale up. So but they would love to do this like multiple times. So at least for the first time I'm happy to give them part pass, and that's okay with the board and one or two Nordecke teams.
We could consider having them on hand for when we play teams from states where recreational use is not legal. Such as Atlanta, I think. Well, then, or, well, okay. Sorry, what?
We can certainly do that, yeah, I think, Orlando's the Friday game.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Just a suggestion.
Yeah, no,
It's like more bang for your buck if they can, because like, when I go places where it's either cheaper or less recreational, legal, like I just find something illegally bringing the ball. Camera's off, right?
Are there any other felonies you want to commit?
Any questions, comments, concerned about that partnership? I know for some that feel a little bit sensitive, I think most, but online.
So what do they do again?
So they are, I think on like the Google for like helping someone find a licensed dispensary.
Think of Pokemon Go, but instead of Pokemon, you're finding dispensaries.
You're finding licensed.
It's literally like a search engine.
Is it literally Yelp where they have like reviews?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, for
So. Pictures? Yeah.
Find the pink dragon.
So yeah, I was thinking about if they want to come to the game on the 14th, that would be something that we could do. So that is, and then we can work on for other games too. So that's the second one, and then the last thing is something I'm working with Scott Gorston on is on the 9th of August. We're having a white watch party at Lambert. And Scott knows the owner of Sweeney's, which is pretty close by to Land Grant, and so we're looking at possibly doing like that Nordecke Franklinton watch party, where it's kind of shared between Land Grant and Sweeney's. I did talk to the Land Grant about that. They're not necessarily against it, but they need some more information. So Scott and I are going to meet with Land Grant tomorrow to talk about it and see what we can do. So this will be on August. And then with regards to the other things on I'm happy to reach out to a trampoline park, trampoline parks around the city and see what we can do. And also do something.
Take it for a best shot. So. So
Yeah. That is all I have for partnerships.
All right, travel.
see. So May, we had a boatload of games. They all went well. Like I think the issue, I was in Charlotte. I was always met the move house. They did a great job with the tailgate. But folks had a great time. Game and not exactly what we wanted it to, but soon once you get into May. The only issue I'm aware of is in Miami. I learned after the game that we did not get the 2 dead rows that we were promised. For those of you who travel for away games, it's normal for our supporters to have 1 to 2 empty rows, either before in front of or behind us, as kind of a buffer between us and home fans. We were promised that on the fall with Miami, but they did not deliver on it. There were no issues, thankfully, that arose from that because I think our fans were cool and the Miami fans who were sitting next to our fans were cool. But there's no guarantee that will always be the case. So I'm trying to follow the tie to figure out what happened, why that did not occur. Again, it's more preventative. It's thankfully not occurred. Just make sure that we don't have that's happening very good. So for upcoming games, we have no away games in June, which is nice. Makes my life kind of easy. In July, we have 3 away games. I'm currently working on getting tickets up. I was told by Ty that Seattle should be up. He said tomorrow, which based on past experience means a week from tomorrow. But as soon as I get the pricing information from Ty, we are ready to go from Seattle. iOS comms, can you guys start working on graphics for the 3, especially for Seattle and Nashville? That's for the 2 games. I did just try to extend an olive branch to the Emerald City supporters. Based on past experience, they told me to F all the way off, and there would not be a joint experience with them. I thought maybe we could have bygones, but that was not the case.
So we'll do our own thing in Seattle. Nashville's a Wednesday game, so I don't know what we do in terms of pregame, but I'll still reach out to their supporters. They're pretty cool, so I'm sure they'll be happy to host us, even though it'll be some new experience. Ty told me I should have the Nashville tickets, hope sometime next week, which probably means September. So anyway, as soon as we get the pricing, I will get those posted for the two easier games, and now to the big game in July. So we do have pricing for the Cincinnati game. It is a nice affordable $96. Which I think is sets a new record for the most expensive away tickets in Nordecke history. So that's an easy for me.
No, it's like.
Oh, I'm sorry, for regular season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those we have had a little bit of a payment issue on our website that I think is in the process of being worked out. Hopefully that's resolved very soon. As soon as that's as you guys know, for our lotteries, when we do take usually it's just how it's real home and away. The lottery includes folks paying a deposit. It's $10 per ticket. So we need that payment, the ability to accept payment. Yes, sir.
I just wanna expand on that. That is site-wide, not just for tickets like the lotteries. Our payment processor PayPal had a documentation issue with our account.
Well, it expires,
Yeah.
and it needed revamped, and we had to change some stuff over, so now they're just verifying the updated documents once everything's cleared, which it should be in the next couple of days, hopefully, then all that will be back on.
I mean, the check does, because we've been feeling a lot of messages on social media about, I can't make a payment.
We want your money, I promise, we'll take it.
We're
Just-
incredibly desperate for your money.
In lieu of money, you can just give me cash right now. I won't actually take a return, but it's we see where we next. Yeah. So Cincinnati is the lottery will go live as soon as we get the payment issue. So we probably won't do that on the weekend just because I can get lower engagement there. So that might be Monday at this point. But should be ready to go. Everything else is ready, is other than the payment issue. We also are going to do a bus to Cincinnati again this year. Thank you, Bud, for coming through, and he's apparently a much better negotiator than I am. He got a better price than I was able to. So we will go live with the bus signups at the same time as the lottery. If we fill one bus relatively quickly, we do have the option to add more. Right now, we're going to do the first bus, but we can always add more depending on demand. There's that. We've already thanks to Robbie and Bud, we've been in touch with Cobblestone. We will again be at Cobblestone this year. New ownership, but guy seems really cool. I talked to him. He's a good guy, despite owning a bar in Cincinnati. And so he is going to have two food trucks available. I think one's pizza, and he's trying to align a taco truck as well. So
Will he have the staff stick around beyond like 10 minutes after all of us show up?
yes, no, that was not promised. Just cook your own tacos in the taco truck. It is
From the bartender staff, last year they all,
Oh, yeah.
half the bartenders left after the crowd of food.
actually along those lines. One of the things I did bring up to him is last year, because the game's mid-July, it's likely to be very hot. And I know last year was the same. I forget exactly when the game was last year. It was a really hot day. And I remember they had like water sitting on the counter, but it was a struggle for them to refill it because they were so busy pouring beers, they didn't have time for that. So I did ask him if he'd be okay with us just bringing a cooler or two of just like Costco water bottles for our supporters. He's perfectly fine with that. So I may make a motion to pay for that, or I need to pay for it. So we'll bring some water for our fans.
There's let people have listening area for that.
Exactly. And bartenders, the owners perfectly cool with that. I also was able to guarantee that we have porta johns as well. I know 2 years ago, I think we did not, and the lines were horrible. Last year, I think we had 2 or 3 porta johns, and I didn't see any. There was never more than 2 or 3 people in line, so that's really helped the cows. So he did confirm he'll have porta johns as well. What else? Cincinnati. I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, beer. Are we on? So yeah. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Beer. I think you want to fill us in on.
Yeah, so he has a lot of inventory from last year's beer partners. So Parsons North, Land Grant, Saucy, and I think Endeavor. So I asked him to check out each of the beers and see if they're still okay. for consumption, because it's a lot. It's a heavy amount of inventory. And if it's good, then he doesn't necessarily need to order it, but I did say if he does want to replenish, I gave him a list of 2 or 3 beer programs.
And Rick just asked the question about hotel blocks. I have not yet done hotel blocks for Cincy, but I will. We'll get that published as well. Those are usually things there's a day or two to get set up. If anyone has any particular requests for hotels, feel free to let me know what your choices are. Yes.
Bud just had an update in Zoom about the PayPal issue. He said the specific PayPal issue is that they now decided that they need a copy of the legal identification of the primary contact for the account. The primary contact in the PayPal system had never been updated from the crew supporter union days. That has been changed, and a copy of identification has been submitted. They're now just waiting for some human to review the submitted PDF and decide that is sufficient.
Yes. Sometime in the next 25 years, we don't know. As long as there's not Ty doing it, I feel like they'll probably get to it relatively quick. So so I think for travel, I can't think of anything else. So yes, sir.
Have we asked if the front office would help subsidize ticket costs of the Cincinnati front office ticket for almost
They had a good laugh when we asked them that. So yeah. I believe the exact response was before the season, we allocate money to supporting the supporters in other ways, in which case we asked what have you spent money on to support us? And
But that's the thing where they're like, would you rather have it now for regular season, or do you want us to save and do stuff for postseason, or do you want us to do this?
That's a punt.
yeah, that was what they're doing with punt thing.
Because in the past, what happens is you get to the postseason and they say, wow, it's short, right?
Yeah, because we already tried the whole postseason thing years ago.
Like they
And
usually try to fund you for
with travel, and then they're like, just kidding, here's a hotel block, but it's only for Friday night, not Saturday, when the game is. That was fun. I think that was Cincy.
So we did ask the question. I'm not very hopeful that will be resolved positively. I know it's shocking that the front office is being as well, but please collect yourself. It's a shocking statement. Yeah, I think that's it. So the lottery, I think the number of tickets in the lottery is going to be in the neighborhood of 100 or so, which I think is consistent with past years in terms of number of tickets that we'll have available. I don't know the exact section.
That's a good transition.
Well, let's go for it then. Transition, I'm done.
Okay, transitioning to that. So in years past with the lottery, we were all kind of torn on this. I wanted to bring this discussion to the members. But in previous years for Cincinnati away, board members, and this is not just previous board members since the board has been around, they've gotten a small allotment of tickets for board members so that there is leadership in the section, that if something goes wrong, you have a board member there that can kind of help them along the way.
Those
Yes.
board members still have to pay for the tickets. They're just held back.
They're just held back for them. Yes, we still pay for them, but we don't have to enter the lottery or find outside, of the section itself or in a nearby section and stuff like that. So there's leadership. There was some concern that this kind of felt icky, that it's gross, that we're supposed to be doing this for volunteers, there shouldn't be those kind of perks. Other people kind of agreed that there should be some sort of leadership, or at least some members. There was discussions back and forth in the Slack group that maybe only certain people travel game day. Chairperson gets them and the other people have to enter, different stuff like that. So there are different scenarios. We wanted to bring this to the members that may be here. It's not a giant portion, but how do people feel about that? If it's a good idea, if it's a bad idea. I know I've had conversations with previous board members and they're kind of on, it should be that each board member gets one or two so that they're there, they have that presence. Especially, and it's not like every away game, this is the biggest away game of the year. You do have damn near 500 people there, whether they're in our designated section or in surrounding areas. You have people that are going to be at the watch party, you have people that are throughout the march, you have people in the stadium. That's not just Ty and the other FO people that you may not recognize, but we may be able to recognize. So if it is something we travel with them, versus trying to rely on Cincinnati security and their personnel, because you'll be wearing black and yellow and may not be as kind to you, or, that sort of thing. So that was something we had back and forth, and we decided to bring it up here in this meeting. What people's general feelings on, we said that we would call an official vote tonight. I do have Brad's vote on it and when we get to that point, but we just want to bring to you guys your thoughts, concerns, anyone out in internet land, that sort of thing. And if anyone has anything they want to say board wise here with the members.
I think it makes sense for the practical reasons, and also it's okay that you all get some non-monetary perks of like getting a lot. Like if it were the organization gifting you $100 ticket, I could understand the issue more. The whole like they can't have anything good. I think it's silly too, but so yeah, I'm okay with it.
And you speak for everyone, so thank you.
No one else is objecting to these.
It's such a small amount of ticket numbers. How many people are gonna be displaced?
With what we had there, at least the preliminary numbers, it was only, because I know I was only one, Robbie is not going to be able to be there. I don't remember if everyone else said there was
20,
it was
we're talking
less
about
than
20 total.
20,
And that's
it was
if
18, 17 tickets out of the whole lottery, I think is what we were looking at.
But we got 200 is the number that we're allotted to us, so we would have 200 minus whatever.
Okay, fine. Any other thoughts? Any online questions, comments, concerns?
No, so far.
Very small.
Just a quick question for as we get closer to the game next month. Is there been any word from Cincinnati on, or at least I can remember how it was last year, like the cars and trucks? And so
I did, I had a brief conversation with Brandon last week, tailgate. We're not really bringing these sites still down, but, I understand the bus, he said the bus, and I think he meant the crew team bus, I guess he could have been our bus, but I think he meant the crew team bus parks very near, where we enter. So he wanted to talk to, I guess, I or somebody in the front office to say, would it be possible for us to march with the drums to the stadium, whether it's our drums or the REF, whatever the drums would be, and then leave them in the bus together.
So previous years we have done, brought our drums for our little party on the way up. But then when we got to Gates, it was pretty much just a warning. We got kind of pulled off to the side and then gave their drums and had their drums returned by the security force there. They had like a special spot they put them.
They have like a closet that they lock
Yeah,
up, so
yeah.
it's not just like off to the side.
And their stuff came back untouched and undamaged.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, obviously, it's Laguardia's call if they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But if,
Them and us, and we just have to talk to them and their staff about us storing it there again, just doing what we've done.
I know last year they do drugs for their working parade around town.
I think they did not do, I don't think we had drums last year, but we did 2 years ago, if I recall correctly. I thought it was really cool experience. So. Yeah, we can definitely look into that. I love the idea. You make a motion.
Okay. Yeah. Motion for board members to skip the lottery line and pay for their destiny tickets, so that there is that leadership presence to Cincy.
For up to 2 tickets.
Up to 2 tickets per board member. I said it's less than 20 tickets. I know Brad said yes.
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 Motion passes.
I'm also a fan if you guys share your beer vouchers with the team dates for you guys.
Next,
It's mine, because I've never gotten that.
next you're gonna ask to borrow the company car that we get.
Okay, perfect. So now that we are in new business, that takes care of that one. I know that wasn't officially on the printed agenda, but that was kind of a discussion that we did last minute. So we do apologize and try to avoid those, but as we have that, like I said, we just wanted to bring that to the members' attention and just have that kind of be as a known thing. With that open communication. Did we go over most of the stuff we had for Pride/Soccer for All? Was there anything else that we wanted to talk about with those? As far as new business?
So the pride, all the slots have been filled.
Yes, all 50 are filled.
I think we pretty much hit everything too.
I think
Game day.
as it relates to the march itself on the 14th, I think we'll just need to get information from her when we all need to get together. And all that stuff.
Yeah, and I think she's getting all that in that meeting tonight of what's left, it's not allowed, time, our location, that kind of stuff. So, as Emily said, when she has all that information, she has the sign up sheets where she has everyone's email. She can send those emails out with updates and that sort of a thing.
Always sending dollars.
Practically, that's the same days again. And, Columbus weather is such that we say that we do set up earlier in any way. And the timing is such that, the options on the board are not very easily facilitate the stuff we need to do to stay yet. It's been unfortunate side effect of the same days.
Also, I know previously there was some rules about music and not music and certain things like that. So I know, like I said, Emily's getting all that tonight of what's, that kind of a thing. But I do know that we do have like giveaway stuff to hand out throughout the parade. So if you're there and you're watching, you see your lovely colored Nordecke people, be on the lookout because we have stuff that we're giving out for that. But no drums, just as Norm said, with the logistics of being big. And there's a long ass parade route to be carrying drums, and when it's usually as hot as Satan's part, not the most fun. But if other noisemakers that maybe you normally can't take in the stadium, maybe some cowbells.
I know of a particular noisemaker.
Oh God, no, that is not.
I love that thing.
But
You spun it 2 times.
I know. So there's this god awful noisemaker in the game day closet for those that don't know, and it literally sounds like a machine gun. It's probably not the best idea.
On the
It's
the
placard.
It's the placard. And it sounds like gunshots. And it's loud and it's it sounds like gunshots.
Courtney, we could bring our Aztec death whistles.
I could bring the Aztec death whistle. That is something I could bring. But Joan won't be there to be scared of. But I could bring the Aztec death whistle. Okay, so Pride and Soccer for All, that is good. We already did the alternative transportation for that. Nothing is that. Nordecke ticket purchase allotment for the 2026 is our favorite. Who wants to kick this one off? Go ahead, folks, paint us a picture, Norm.
So, I believe that this is on the agenda because we're getting close to the point where conversations have to start with the front office of what we're going to do as an organization in 2026. To this point in 2025, ticket sales for Nordecke or have been lethargic. I think is being appropriate for the phrase here. On account of a bunch of factors. So this year we had our highest ticket level since 2023. And we were back to where we were at season ticket member pricing on our tickets. But we have 203, I want to say, season tickets for this season. And the home slate was and continues to be very front loaded this season. Weather has been bad, and interest in the team generally in Columbus has been soft, I would say. And so we have largely as an organization taken a bath on tickets to this point. And so the reason why this is on here is to kind of get sounding out to think about as we approach this, what's an appropriate level of tickets, what do people view tickets moving forward as a benefit or as we get ready for those conversations. Did I miss something? No, we just create some. Indie game team sold out this season.
Christmas and Cincy. Well, smaller.
Sold out last year.
Oh, that does count, that's right.
Even for Christmas, we didn't.
Wow.
No,
Business is still out.
no. Christmas we sold out. We did, the thing I haven't said is that we basically, so we are quoted a dynamic price on our tickets for every game. And so for the Miami game, the original plan was to sell our tickets at, they were at 65 originally. We ended up selling those at cost to just offload them. And we ended up selling out the away game at the very last minute, but it was a close call. And so I think when we factor the processing fees, we took a loss on Miami, but not a huge loss.
The thought I had, and I don't know if we've ever discussed it in the past. So it's very well known that the pretty much up until around this time of year, those tickets don't move or sell. Is there a way to take less tickets per game towards the beginning of the year and then have the 200 for the summer into playoff push time of year?
I mean, we can talk to them about anything we want, but realistically, anything that we don't take in full season tickets, they are going to turn around and sell because they still have a waiting list for them. So
It's something we can bring up in negotiations, but they want to make it, I mean, you have those conversations with at the time about they want to make it as cut dry
Also,
as possible.
just think about what this summer has been. So the schedule this year has been the way it is in part because there's Club World Cup. Leagues Cup continues to be a going concern. They're still trying to fill Open Cup at every opportunity. So all of these games are kind of front loaded. And next year is the World Cup. And I'm sure that the schedule is going to get, if anything, more front loaded, not less. Not that they could do a whole lot more front loading, but we may be in a similar situation where we've got the May and all we play half of them. The number of games we have in July and August is rather small for league games, which are the games which we're covering. Leagues Cup doesn't count into this consideration.
The first game,
Well, I mean,
again, with us, but any other games
right.
within the first round don't. And that's if this structure stays the way it is this year, because it can change again next year.
Right.
They like to change it every other year. So
Every time the Liga Max doesn't win, the format needs to be changed.
Well, and it's worth mentioning that I believe the league has announced that they, which makes sense, they're going to pause for World Cup next year, which is in the prime, the games that we sell out. That's the prime year. Was that mid-July to mid-August, or what's the time frame? Something like that. It's summertime, but it's so basically the games that we usually have no problem selling, there won't be any games because it's seasonal policy.
Is there some concern that if we
July 11th.
get less tickets next year, then the following year they would give us that?
yes,
But yeah, I think that's absolutely whatever we give up, we're giving up for good.
we're giving up.
Or at least leading up to change. Right. So like if season tickets drop off and we wanted to raise the opportunities there, that's a possibility, but there's no guarantee.
Courtney, we don't negotiation for the impact last year.
We all were kind of back and forth on that. Yeah.
Because my biggest confusion point is we went from probably the worst ticket deal we'll ever get straight back with, I mean, how much hesitation was there from the front office to go from the worst ticket deal ever back to 203 tickets at season ticket number pricing?
So there was not that much pushback.
What-
They kind of, when we went into it last year, they said, how many do you want?
Yeah.
They didn't give us a number, they didn't do that. And we went back and forth with numbers because we had gone from, we only had 30 guaranteed tickets for like Houston, for
Right.
Cincinnati, for Miami. And then it flexed anywhere from like 123 to like 60 for all the rest of the home matches.
But that was after the
But that was after,
the single game ticket sales had started.
yes. And then when we went to them, because they'll start coming to us end of July, starting to get numbers. August is when we have to solidify before season ticket renewal and that sort of thing. I remember they're like, I don't remember what the initial number was. But I think it was something like 250 or something like that. And then we're like, because there was such a big drop, I think we were like, let's do like our next 200. Well, in case we have like your partners that need them or certain things like that for certain games, let's do 203. And I think we went back and forth and kind of went with that, and it was kind of like, okay. But that again was before they had done any single game match ticket sales, before they had added or taken away any season ticket members. I don't think they've taken any season ticket members from it, but single match tickets, they did not control. They gave to us to control.
So we need to pause that and put the at the dates going. June 11th, 2026 is the first game. And of the World Cup. Of the World Cup, and the final is July 19th, I believe. So that's 6 weeks. And that's it, you know. You're picking up right around it. I don't know if it's entirely possible MLS would try to add a week onto that if as teachers are in their training camps. And a lot of teams now you have the rosters by that point forward. And some
What
teams
was
are
that
doing their
date,
training
July?
so that piece away. Like,
What was that date, July?
19.
It's also worth,
Gosh.
we're not on that list, right? Nobody's coming here.
No, Spence's a training facility.
No.
Cincy, and people are using our training.
So, yes, So
Yeah,
for Todd had said for a while we were thinking of that as like a base game.
Huh? Oh, good for us. Right, that's what I thought. We.
Yeah, it's like a Community facilities set up like the Columbia base camp in Columbus.
It's also worth mentioning, by the way, with this discussion, the league has said there will be a Leagues Cup in 26 for some dumb reason, as opposed to taking a break from it. So that's other congestion. I don't think they've committed to when it'll be, but
Thank goodness, I was worried.
I know.
So for comparison point, we basically have a what? Like a 10-day break, league break in June right now. And that's it.
Well, we're also,
That's the only break we're taking right now is this gap. When there's no matches this weekend.
we're also, I mean, fans are going to want to go to the World Cup by all means possible, and so. I mean, if there are people who have budgets, whether like I'm going to 5, 6, 7 food games this year, they could blow their entire budget on one World Cup game and just not go to crew games. Not that, I mean, I don't know how many people that's gonna be, that might just be a handful or it doesn't, but there's going to be a contingency of fans who are spending money on soccer in other capacities than playing the crew next summer. Whether that's travel or tickets. But the reason why I ask Courtney is this is another just straight up conspiracy theory, but like I don't understand how they sold out of season ticket memberships and made a huge deal out of it. And then just gave back 200 tickets to Nordecke. So like
The single game tickets, so they wanted to control those
Okay.
for dynamic pricing, and then they just gave us the season ticket for price, so they basically for games. Unless they nominate,
do you think
typically single game unless they do sell. Is my understanding is how the those extra tickets that we control the single
Right.
tickets.
so? I mean, in my mind, that kind of seems like a lack of demand from the front
Well, for
office.
them.
Saying like, if we push this on Nordecke,
Because
that's
they sold
guaranteed sales. Like, and I mean, we're absorbing all of this cost, like, are they like that, whatever black and gold wait list where you can pay $1,000 and get MLS passing?
They made it way better. It's $50 and will go towards.
Oh, okay, good, because the first year was awful, you got like MLS pass, and which T-Mobile gave out for free, and like, nothing else. Besides like an email. And I'm wondering, did that just like not get anywhere near the numbers that they were expecting, and they decided like to just open up this inventory? I think the 2024 board did absolutely the right thing to overreach and to claim as many tickets as they could. Like long term, if we have to eat $40,000 this year for the fact that like we can sell 200 tickets for the next 10 years, absolutely, you take that deal every day of the week. I'm just so curious why the front office without hesitation just gave us back all these tickets after 12 months removed from giving us the worst ticket deal they could come up with, aside from just not giving us tickets. And I'm just wondering if like we can call them on their bullshit, like if they think that they have them answer, like we can negotiate with them for things like a cruise miss high demand, but FCC high demand. You know,
I mean, if anything, they would have done those high value matches back in their hands.
yeah, 100%.
Jack it up, they'd rather have us take every one stadium.
Yeah,
You can get a lot sweeter of a deal on a, you know, whatever crap midweek, like March game or something,
right.
and you could
Just,
for
it goes for like $20 because like the Nashville game, I saw 400 ads like, come do Mother's Day with Felicia Nags weekend. Come get this scarf and here's a free beer and a soda if you come to this game. Like they're clearly not able to sell these tickets in the same way that they're not.
What, I mean, they had to do that even in the Cincinnati game. They were
Yeah,
advertising
they
tickets
can't
right
sell
up
tickets.
until the day.
Well, I mean, so, I mean, I think it's a question of, is this a short-term issue or a medium term? For, in terms of ticket demand.
Let me talk another idea.
Summer transfer window.
Well, I mean, that's part of it. The other part of it is to expend all of their energy, all of their money being completed as often as possible instead of advertising to coming off of a tough as in 24 and a really tough transfer window. They want them to try to advertise the team.
We toss another
That
one.
affects us as much as it does them.
I got you, this is gonna be somewhat contentious, but I think that we need to at least express this. So this board made a decision at the beginning of the season that we were gonna be flat pricing for home games. Is that right? For all home games. Now, in reality, that's not the way single game, the crew have moved towards dynamic pricing. So what that means is games like Nashville, the face value of those were what, $30, $35, which means they were below the price, and especially in the secondary market, they were going below what we were selling them. Contrastingly, we sold Cincy tickets at what I think that same $50 that we can sell games at. We could have sold up, people would have paid $100 for those tickets. That's what the secondary market was going at. So
So there's two aspects to it. There is the to make everything equal and even, we basically just divided our costs by 17 home games, and that's
After, no,
plus.
15, we removed Miami and Cincinnati from the calculation.
okay,
But none of it stuff.
Not at so.
Joe messed up that, throwing him, it's all Joe's fault.
Alright, so then we got to the number that we have, which is 39 for members and 44 for non-members. But for Wednesday games, that could be $5 less. And there's that like, let's price them at the cost, dynamic cost. And then there's what you're talking about, which is there's for some games demand outside of that. And there's no mechanism. So thanks.
So I guess my point being is, could we were going to, let's be honest, Cincinnati, you know, we could have sold whatever price we had within reason, we would have sold on that game.
But to point that out,
Yes.
our lottery entries were significantly down from last year.
Yeah.
Like by hundreds. So even demand for Hell's Real is down, even with a higher lot. Yeah, I mean, we had what 35, 40 tickets last year, sure we had 200, and I mean, we only had like 230, 240 lottery submissions for 200 tickets. And so, I mean, there's that
demand's down across.
demand, yeah, I mean, demand for even our most, and I mean, Miami, you separate the fact that game was in Cleveland, we got like what 30 people who wanted tickets to that, whereas last year, like we could pick enough tickets to host Miami. So like just demand in general across the board is down, even for our most high value games. But to your point, yeah, like I think it's very advantageous for us because every ticket that we don't sell, we eat 100% of the cost, and every ticket that we can sell at a discount for Wednesday games goes towards minimizing our losses.
And we're being underpriced by the secondary market. I mean, I know for Wisconsin, for the Wednesday Nashville game, you know, I saw tickets on $20, $25. So, you know, we're selling for 39. So And, I think we're all saying the same thing. So it's, I guess what I'm asking is, should we move our prices to the dynamic pricing or something, some of that?
So the other thing that we should make up, this is just an effect that we don't know, is as a consequence of what happened in 2020, when we didn't have the levels of tickets we have. People stopped depending on the Nordecke as an outlet for tickets. And for the guy in 24, they got to pick the scale. So we're back in the game at the level we were. But people have gotten out of the habit of buying from the Nordecke, even considering the, you know, it's good. So I can't quantify that effect. I can't say what about that house, but I'm sure there were people who were just always used to go to the Nordecke and get single tickets. As long as we plan a little bit, we can go get tickets from the Nordecke, and 24, that was very much less of an option and less economical of an option because we had that huge price point on it. I'm just not sure how much that supports the best interest.
So there's a couple interesting points with this too. I mean, your point about we're setting a precedent. So if we scale back to 100 tickets next year, we may never get that back. I'm intrigued to see what happens. So next year is probably a bad base. Last year, I'm sorry, was probably a bad baseline to use as we were coming off of a championship. We had an incredibly exciting team to watch. You know, should have been league MVP playing for us. You know, I think there was just a lot of casual fans who got excited. Plus, I think the schedule just lined up well. We had a lot of games that were kind of big.
You could have just ended in a lot of games.
Yeah, we did a lot of that too. We didn't have that too, yeah. So I guess maybe we shouldn't use 24 as a baseline of what we should ever expect. But what's the World Cup going to do? Will that drive interest in soccer?
So theoretically, that should help, but I think it only helps if we're visible to the casual fan. And I don't know. One, we have a branding problem. Right?
Yep.
From the organization to the section. So people might not discover us that way. But for people who are not used to going to games, how do they know that we are a source? How do they know that we're a place where you can get tickets? And that's the audience that we would have to capture to capitalize on any sort of World Cup, right? Is you have to get those people who are interested in checking out the crew because of World Cup to know you exist. So that's a comms issue, that's a munch issue, it's all sorts of, it's important, it's important. But I don't have any meetings, and if I did, I would just say.
Short answers we could ask for any kind of watch party on the plaza to involve. Be able to set up a tent, to be able to. I don't think we're gonna be able to get our beer partners, but like if they have, if the stadium is selling a beer that we're partnered with to like them on the plaza as well. So that way we can kind of like, and just get in the middle of that, like, hey, Lane Grant, like they're selling glory, like come sell it yourself, like on the plaza. But like that's nice. We can break it down.
I mean, that's the other issue, is like, we don't get as much walk-up traffic because we've been on the field, and so I know in the past we tried to take it on the Chicks Plaza, and that was always so I understand a difficult battle that was a losing battle to try to get space up there because the team did not get them.
For space for people to work it between everything going on with game day. There was a lot of moving, especially on game days, having visibility there. There's a lot of moving pieces that it was difficult to work with. But
no, but we're able to tell how many of the Nordecke tickets are bought. Yes.
Yeah. Especially the people are from the prices. Yeah. It would be very obvious if you just have to dig for the data.
I mean, to me, when I was first getting the Nordecke tickets were like, somebody told you that, hey, you want to come to a game, like this is a cheap way to pay, but it's a So I think that's kind of dropped off. People telling other people this is my. This is what we do.
Challenging because without like just being willing to take a loss, like we're not able to set. There are so many season ticket members in the section. It's what 3,000 people in the section now, and 95% of that is season ticket members. And so many of them like just dump their tickets week in and week out. They do it at like $20.
There's a lot of it convinced that they still cost money.
Yeah,
what they-
that's the big thing they
Basically,
said.
it's not front office, it's Facebook.
Yeah.
You're right, I mean.
Tickets outside.
I mean, outside the stadium?
No, like what if they gave us like art Nordecke tickets in part, we can sell those for tickets somewhere else. If it's able to make more money off of those tickets.
Yes and no, because all those nosebleed sections are about to be suites that are like $12,000 for the season tickets.
More expensive.
And they're actually, yeah, Nordecke is the cheapest ticket at the
For
stadium.
the time being,
For the time.
they keep raising those prices. Eventually, we're not going to.
So to provide more context, I'll read what Bud said in the chat. And I'd forgotten about this and I dropped off. In 2023, the organization had 400 season tickets. In 2024, that was down to 30. And then we bought back tickets.
Yeah, we had 30 season tickets and then whatever we fluctuated, we paid the dynamic pricing.
And so then that meant that every game had a different price in 2004, and the price was usually the most expensive on them.
I think part of his point there is that when we drop 270, a significant number of the people that bought from Nordecke were able to get season tickets. So our demand kind of vanished with that. So it's just a very complex, multifaceted issue.
Which we also have a like that's a sense to which we are a way station for some who are committed to going to food games. They want to be season ticket holders, but they don't have a season ticket, or they're not quite able to commit to being a season ticket member for any variety of reasons, so they go to us. But we don't have an easy way of reaching the person who doesn't know that this amount of this outlet exists.
And if you get less, then there'll be people screaming, "Go on, you get that." Even if it's the right decision, that's gonna happen.
Worry about that, maybe that on the alien.
Let's just do one more reason for that question.
So I think we can all kind of table that for now, just to give more time for open forum. I don't think we're solving the ticket issue tonight, but I think that is a continued thing. And members, anyone like wants to weigh in, you can message us. You have socials, you have access to our emails on the website, but we want to hear any and all feedback from anyone, unless anyone else has any final thoughts.
Just on a separate ticket issue outside of 2026, this one be a league standard issue. Yes. Because we have.
We can solve tonight.
We can solve this one tonight. So we have 3 home games for Leagues Cup. The first one will be on the 29th of July, which is a Tuesday. Then we have another one on the 9th, which is a Saturday or Friday. And then the next one, the third one is going to be another Tuesday game on the 14th. So the way for season ticket members, your Friday tickets already included in your season ticket package. So what we are going to be choosing or making a decision on is how many tickets we need to get for the two Tuesday games on the 29th and 14th. Yes.
The 5th.
August 5th. I'm sorry, August 5th. Thank you. So we're trying to figure out how many tickets we need to purchase from the front office for those 2 Tuesday games. One thing that's very important to note and needs to be clear is that the amount that we select for the 2 Tuesday games will not have the impact on how many we can select for
Future
rounds if we advance. So it's possible that we can go little to no tickets on the 2 Tuesday games, but then go heavy on the rounds if we do advance. One thing that's very important to note, and I'll get to in a second, is summer transport starts on July 24th. So it is possible that you may have a massive sign. It happened, I think, what was it, 2 years ago when like we lost Rossi and Rossi came in. So
was Irish Football America was one that was pretty.
yeah. So just something for us to kind of think about as to how historically we've always had tickets for obviously for every regular season game, postseason, even also the Leagues Cup and CONCACAF. But something that we need to think about for this one, yes.
So, one thing to consider, I don't think we've had this conversation yet, but we can. Is if we have reached out to LaGuardia and to LTA to see if they have thoughts that may help us gauge the market.
Yeah.
If there's significant interest from their membership in single match tickets.
That's good.
It might drive how we think about numbers.
Who are the two opponents for the games?
So,
Sorry.
Toluca's one of the Tuesday games, and Leon's the other Tuesday game, and that's a big opponent.
So there'll be interest for those.
Like Leon is the most marketable game. It's a Tuesday night. A lot of Minnesota. So
We can reach out to them before we do a thing. And send messages to them, see. Before we make that, just out of their Tuesday games. Because I know, speaking with Blanca, she had mentioned that some of the Leagues Cup games, LTA might be interested in those, and I'll tell me some of that, so, I'll reconnect with them and see that, but I'm and this is just me for myself, I'm towards the very, very lighter side of this as of right now, so, and I think most of the board is, so,
I
because.
think it should be more than 0 for the points you mentioned earlier, but if there's 0, suddenly people are like, oh, the Nordecke doesn't sell tickets anymore, I'm gonna go find this one.
Yeah.
Even if it's 10,
Well,
just
and
there's something on the website.
Yeah.
the reason why I brought up Guardia and LTA is that there are people that want single match tickets, which should buy from us and get money to us rather than tickets.
And pay fees.
This was an opt-out, by the way, for season 2.
Mhm.
So, it is entirely possible that there will be people affected these sales tickets.
And that also means that the front office has more to sell.
Yeah,
And
but
we're automatically selling at a higher price than they are. Just
Sure.
We're bumping them up to cover our fees.
But then they're selling theirs with Ticketmaster fees.
But I think both are still more expensive than the season ticket member rate, especially legacy members. Which is, or worst case scenario, like I can't make this on Tuesday, I was going to on Facebook for $10. That's what we're gambling on.
Well, yeah, the issue is an opt out rather than opt in, right? So we miss that deadline.
Right, so if the team sells it, then like. I think we just need to. Wait on this as long as possible to make sure it's like have them settle on price. If they decide to drop their prices, which I don't think they will, that would kind of suck for us, but if we can delay this until as late as possible.
They won't drop their prices, they'll just do like, for $39, you can have this and a drink or something, yeah.
Hey, we have scarf inventory.
We're gonna do a Canada taco.
Seems
just too really. Well, but the ticket would go to 59 if it's a Canada taco.
Yeah.
It's also worth mentioning, I don't know how much of an impact this has. Those games follow 2 consecutive home games on the 2 weekends before. So if you have casual fans who want to go to a game in July, going to see DC on a Saturday or Orlando on a Friday is probably be more convenient than a Tuesday, unless you're just really nice to see.
It's gonna be a huge availability for them and stuff.
Yeah, we're technically one team.
What's up?
We do one team.
So Leagues Cup, we can say probably in the next, well, we have to have a decision by next week, so we'll have.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to make a call, just know what we know, which means we can't necessarily. We don't want to say.
I think the consensus I people are getting is that we will buy tickets, it will be small.
Would we want to, one idea that Brad did mention that I was actually coming to, one was selling it as a bundle. Like you,
Like both games,
for both games, for both Tuesday games, and that way we're just,
one flat fee, that's kind of smart.
yeah, I thought was a good idea.
I think it's fine as an option, but we should definitely have the option for Sunday tickets.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you don't wanna lock into that, because especially being week like that, you might people make one, not the other, but that's true. If we all offer it, I don't see it's gonna be crazy.
Okay. Or we could do both, like, each game is $40, or you get 75 for two of them, price tag by them.
Great. Alright, please have to be continued. Open forum. Anyone here?
Nick asked a question.
Mr. Wait.
So, we've had 4 games and the sword for 3-2, and they've not let us into the Nordecke for any of them. Has there been any update from the front office on Wi-Fi?
They gave us a number that like attendance needs to be X.
400.
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
I've asked Todd, I looked into letting you guys at least take advantage over there, because I know right now they'll only let you take on those suites that you can.
Yeah,
See.
it gets you there, so we're not any.
What did tenants for have responsible look like?
Like 200.
That's tough though too, because that one was that the store?
It was the store the day after.
It was a back-to-back for Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Wasn't it at one point gonna be with LBC, or was that
No more,
I just hear at least one.
Yeah.
we have no more scheduled games for all these. That's right.
So. Yeah, so if it's 400. That's,
I don't think we'll get 100 for anything.
No, you have to double the attendance of what is arguably gonna be Buffalo.
We even specifically,
And we
we
did-
did what 590 for the open hub, and that was felt like a huge crowd.
Yeah.
We specifically asked, like I mentioned, not even like the team corner, but even just that first sliver on like the southmost side. And like what logistical barriers would cause them to not be able to staff that, and they really didn't provide an answer outside of tickets.
Because it makes sense, like, you don't need extra staff for people to go 3 sections away from where they are. It doesn't, it's an arbitrary thing, but. And we'll keep asking and keep pushing on that, but. They're gonna stick on that 400 thing.
And also, I'll follow up on the papers too with Ty, because I've asked that and he said, well, that's something I can make him do, and then it was a little razzle dazzle, and then,
I also told us in the past, they thought that they would have opened one end of the spots. So. He was like, oh, they'll get that. Whatever the number was, he wasn't telling us.
Also, did you give them shit for scheduling their first team practice same time as well?
not yet, because we haven't had that meeting, but
We will.
I saw that, and that's something that's on our list of, what are you doing? It's not like you don't have this, and it's not like first team players don't wanna come and see and watch for 2 games, because we know that they come and watch that, we know. It's another that comes and does that, so like.
And they could have done a cool thing where it's like a practice before.
Yeah,
They're
there's
starting a week break, they could have done the practice on a different day.
so many options, and they chose the worst one, as they tend to do,
I think we just wait to see the entire team jet lag from back they were playing the day before, it's like a fall.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be the worst, like training, it'll probably just be like a jog.
That's what they did last year, was a day, it was all the starters did a lap. And then they did stretching yoga, and then they went back away, and then you saw everyone on the bench doing shot practices.
Just get ready to see the removal combo.
Yeah, if they're not playing.
Crew cat, just crew cat along.
Just Evan Bush.
So you act like that's a problem. Look, okay,
it ends up being a de facto like autograph opportunity is essentially what it is too.
Well, last year, 2 years ago was actually nice, like for the autographs. Last year was a clusterfuck.
Last year, all the kids just farted and were like throwing those. I'm like, I'm just sitting here. And then, yeah, I was like, I'm getting it. It's terrible. But it'd even be cool if they'd have done something where like they have the practice. Because the Cappy game is at 6. Is it the exact same time? Even if they'd have delayed and done like 7:30 kickoff where people could go to that. And if you had something like that.
They do the practice at historic or at the trade fields. You let people in.
Right.
And that people would stick around if they did that. If you know, not everyone, but there'd be a decent number of people that staying around here.
Well, especially families with kids there that are already there. Okay, you're seeing the person train now. Let's watch a game. Why do none of us work for the team?
Does they keep offering like stadium?
I mean, we could have gotten this kind of feedback about this. They could have gotten this feedback about an October not singing Highway to Hell to hype the crowd for Cincinnati.
Yeah. Complete clusterfucks. Have they announced what they're doing with the meet the team thing again this year?
Not yet.
No, that was
Hopefully not as.
Which one? Time 1 or time 2?
Jesus, like last year was just.
We're at the Museum of Art, which was delightful, but then I got yelled at because there was a chair there that like sit if your like legs are hard, and I did, and they're like, you can't use that. I'm like, it's literally on the stand that says use me to sit while I'm waiting in line.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so,
I have positive feedback, or just comms and creative on posting the pictures of TIFO effort. Was neat to see after that. I know that there's holding the secrecy, and there was even some like glimpses of it, like before it was up, and then seeing more pictures after that. I think it's just neat. Thank you.
And we have more and more new volunteers. How many new ones are we up to? Like 15 from the last.
As of last night, I think we've had 12 people come out to Tifo Sweat for the first time this season. So it's been cool to see a lot of new people getting involved and seeing what the process is like. We've had a lot of people who have not been around in a while come back, get back involved for at least one, which is always fun. And it's always cool to hear them like shocked at how god awful that space is. So that's been fun to get those messages. Yeah.
On the real estate search.
Oh yeah, you weren't here.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No like concrete updates other than we've connected with a realtor. Who's helping us look around and apparently had a call with somebody in the front office that I'm going to assume is not Ty. And was able to get more information in one phone call than we've gotten in months of asking. So hopefully good things are on the way from that.
And will May motion be posted on the website soon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was
All the old ones were up there.
yeah, there's like
Yeah, I guess I.
Yeah.
And, community events and watch parties, they're not on the calendar.
They're still on that? Okay.
Brad is on vacation right now. He said he's.
I can write that to Brian too, see if he's able to get on that, but I'll do. You said watch parties and the volunteer one's still around there. Okay.
do we have any questions from the Zoom?
No questions, just one comment from Kat that said Philip and she intend on coming back to helping on TIFO now that she graduated with her 1-year post-degree certificate, and Philip is about to be 100% medically cleared.
Yeah.
Really? Questions, comments, concerns, anything else?
Well,
Damn it, no, I've got
I can make up questions.
I did ask Ty if he would be willing to let Nordecke have some piece of the puzzle that is the certificate when information is available, so we can make that exclusive to our members. He couldn't say yes, but he also didn't say no. So just like every other concept.
Is it already out there?
Yeah, so the images, but like as far as like price, release date, all these like are there shorts, all these other questions that. When's the big rollout? Because I'm assuming the way it's gonna work is it's going to be a part of a larger retro batch. And MLS will dictate the release date, much like it did with like the Pride stuff and then.
It's like last year, it'll be like early July.
Yeah. Yeah, and inventory at least, because I don't know. How many, like, is it gonna be available just in the cruise shop, or is this something that's gonna be in a large shop? It's all these other things. Just something that we can give to versus. Like, I have a good faith in the front office, but like, they actually give a shift, and we have per shift and then give them. With information that. Like. Is privileged to be approved like a dedicated group like fan. So I'm hopeful that like just trying to maintain some kind of camaraderie with time will actually result in getting us some kind of privilege information at some point in time. But I gave it a shot that there gets to see if you can just give us anything. Since it means I don't even know that probably I don't think that was I think that was an intentional display of the jersey. So like they have the
he was there with the national team cheering for him. Get all that talk about what's a dedicated crew fan.
They have, it sounds like they have the ability to make it known that it exists, so. There are just certain aspects of that they're bargaining and I'm trying. That's the problem that is out there.
So to answer Kat's question, it's essentially like, is there any piece of information that we could have to disseminate to our members before it gets disseminated to the wider public?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, something like the available date for how much it's gonna cost, or like what's the first game they're gonna wear in case people wanna wear, like in case want to go to throwback night for our members to wear.
When's the first moment you can buy it at the team store before it inevitably sells out because they didn't do a large enough run?
Exactly.
To think that the first game would be the 30th anniversary game, right?
You think so? What game is that?
That's August 19th.
Yeah.
I think they're playing the Reds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that would be that what that's going.
And also with today's news, I asked Ty what the front office can disclose about the Circle of Honor inductee and what they're expecting of Nordecke fans. They obviously would like a TIFO if we can do one that is centered around our Lord and Savior Guillermo.
Look, I think.
If I were here, I would bust my ass and find a way to do that. He's not gonna be here.
Listen, I think there's a number of ways you could say that. One would be that a TIFO is as likely to be present as Lord King.
His response is, we were told not to do those for the players, so.
That are no longer with the team. You have to be very specific for that.
Sorry.
I'm not. That was a good one. So yeah, but they're still figuring out things. I'm trying to get a little bit more information, what they're expecting, what it's gonna look like, if it's gonna be just something pre-game that they do, if it's gonna be a halftime thing, what they're actually doing. But
It's also not for nothing. But if they stuck with their original fight date, then we would have had a full month between the two games. And now, because they moved, and she said that's guarantee that they're next year.
Yeah.
Right. We now have 3 weeks for a full production.
Not just sitting there, but say which day you weren't thinking, like.
that's what their whole thing was, and supposedly they were supposed to do like a whole photo shoot thing before the season, and then like 2 weeks before to cancel.
Chris, well, you got the job after they.
Yeah. And then he's just impossible to get a schedule on, and I'm like, but it's not if he has this schedule.
Hey, the moment they said they're gonna have a Ring of Honor, Circle of Honor inductee, when people looked at the schedule and they said, no way is it Guillermo because he can't be there because they have a game that day. And all that requires is for people to open football. The people's schedule. So
you guys did pick up on
Oh,
it.
we
When I
got
said
it.
there was a small circle of people that knew it. No one picked up on that. I said, there's a small circle that knows what's happening.
Well, you should have said there's a 7-foot wall on the outside and northeast. So nobody knows exactly, nobody, yeah, but it's built by construction that knows what's on.
Let me draw you a map to a secret place, and that'll tell you why they didn't land on a soccer for all night.
Still doesn't make sense, like, if it was gonna be July, like, why didn't Ragnar get? Still.
Because they were still looking at a date in June. And then once it was in July, they,
Don't we?
yeah.
Or others have a private jet, but can't use anything there, like. This could be a 12-hour ordeal, you should be there and back.
Because there's a couple there's a couple of jets.
Enough to make it work.
Put it this way, if you had it on June 29th, we kept the original Friday date, that's a Sunday, it might have been easier, so.
I don't know. So yeah, that's the last of that.
5 minutes still done, so
5 minutes till done.
all parts and minds.
Yep. Alright, good. Thank you everyone online. Thank you everyone here. We'll see you guys next weekend. Go crew.